Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents. With me, your host, Valerie, and sometime kitty co-hosts, Ms. Purrington and Mookie, are back at home. We're recording from Fallout Theater Podcast Studio. Thank you, Fallout. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, show reviews, our advice column, our listing of festivals from across the country and the world, our FPIA contest page, and my articles for the Austin Chronicle, thebarbedwire.com, and the San Antonio Current about the Austin and Central Texas comedy scenes. Our most popular feature is our events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. Click the Submit a Show button from the top of the homepage or events page to fill out the survey to get your show listed. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo to our followers. We also offer paid promo pushes on Instagram. Speaking of events, come check out my new passion project show, Improv Vintage. You bring a vintage item and watch it come to life in fully improvised scenes. And on April 1st here at Fallout Theater on Wednesday night, 8:30, we are partnering with the UT Briscoe Center for American History, and they are bringing things from the Ann Richards collection. So definitely come check that out. It's going to be an amazing evening. Want to support these resources we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on Venmo or Patreon. Click the Support CW icon on our homepage to see the ways that you can help us. Our podcast was launched in 2016. That's 10 years, folks, to bring you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Today, we are talking to somebody who is an actor, an improviser, a teacher of improv and sketch. He writes, he performs stand-up, and much more, I suspect. He starred in Gutenberg the Musical. It's got exclamation points, so be excited about that. He's also the winner of the 2026 Cold Tony Award for Best Stand-Up, and he is recording his debut special on Sunday, April 19th. You've got 2 chances to watch that here, also at Fallout Theater. We're big fans of Fallout. Yeah. And now Comedy Wham presents our guest, Ellison Williams.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for reaching out, and word to anybody listening to this, you can always reach out, and if I can fit it in the schedule. I know it was kind of tricky because I'm starting to get into Moon Tower prep season,
Right.
And I plan everything out very carefully for that, but I was able to get you in, and I wanted to make sure this goes out before your special.
I appreciate it.
So.
I'm trying a new thing where you can just ask people for something if you have an idea about it and you haven't done something that you should be ashamed of.
Yeah.
That make you think you should not be asking for something.
Yeah.
But you know what? It works.
I mean,
a lot of the time.
I very rarely say no. That's the easy thing. That's how I've gotten to, you're going to be episode 380.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Since 2016.
2016. Yeah. A wild ride. And fun now, too, because I feel like I've moved, a lot into the improv scene.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started, I had a friend, because I generally release on a weekly schedule. And when I was talking to her about launching this officially, she was like, "You're going to run out of comics."
Well,
and I'm like,
no?
No?
Expected, what would happen, but
yeah, but also
you're gonna run out comics you want to talk to.
Yes, yes, that is true. But it definitely expands the scene to talk to improvisers as well. Which, full confession, I did not know you did stand up until very recently.
Yeah,
so,
I only restarted a couple of years ago, and I'm kind of still trying to force myself to ramp up more and venture further into the straight comedy scene, which, just for the record, I am straight. You can be straight and trans, but I have, I've achieved moderate success in the queer stand-up scene. So.
Oh, well, that's not true because I didn't read this credit, but you were in the cheekiest comic finals,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, moderate success. Which that's better than failure. So
Right. Well, Kat, I like to start these off with my icebreaker question. Since you've listened, you might know about this.
Know.
Hopefully you did not think pre-prepare. It's like improv. Don't walk in with your premise
I got bad
already
news for you. I have an answer locked and loaded.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Kat, one word to describe your past.
Comeback.
Oh, that makes sense with what you just said.
Well, it's actually, I thought a lot about this. There's the first sense of like, I think that my sense of humor was developed around, I think this is true for a lot of people, like a defensiveness, right? Of like comeback as in like an insult. Right?
Yeah.
And being like ready to make fun of somebody back. Right. Mm-hmm. And then that turns into you're just proactive being mean. So there's that sense. And then there's the sense of like, I feel like I've had many comebacks in my life in terms of like, thinking I was going to kill myself and then not. And then, restarting performance and things like that. So I feel like I'm on an upswing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't have to do any more comebacks. No fall from grace ahead for me. And then there's the third reason that I chose comeback, which is it has the word come in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is also important to me.
Okay. All right. So all right. We're going blue. All right. I'm ready. It's Sunday afternoon.
I can stop there.
No.
It will be difficult for me. No,
no. We can be as silly as you want to be. Did comedy play a role in your life growing up?
Okay, I think that it did, but notably, someone, this was a while ago, asked my sister at a show after she came to watch, like, has Kat always been funny? She immediately went, no. She didn't even have to, and she wasn't like being funny. Like, that was her honest answer.
Yeah.
But I think that I was always, like I kind of said, like using being like a class clown or like, that I could be like insulting in a funny way or, like barbed comments. Now I'm seeing like, well, that was funny to me and no one else. For everyone else, that's bullying.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I thought of myself as a writer first, I guess. Thought, like, as a little kid was like, I'm going to be a novelist one day. And I would write a lot of, like, humorous, like, little stories, that I thought I was being funny.
Yeah.
And then got into, like, acting and stuff a little bit in like middle school, high school, and was always cast as a comic relief, which suited me. I wasn't like salty about that.
Yeah.
And then I didn't think about like improv or stand up or sketch or anything like that in that form until I guess it was like 2014. I started doing stand-up in Milwaukee.
Okay.
That's where I first did stand-up, and that was brutal.
Really? Because I thought that was a good scene. University town.
I think like there was plenty to do, and I did like, it wasn't that like I was completely unwelcome or something, but I mean, at the time I looked like a woman, thought I was a woman. So I have experienced life as a female comic, and it was kind of rough.
Yeah.
And then, I fixed that problem. So, but that was following, I got out of eating disorder treatment, and I was just like, I guess what I want to do is put myself on stage for widespread scrutiny of my body and mind.
So
But,
that's
yeah.
the sequence was the eating and health recovery and then starting stand-up?
Yeah, like, I mean, not even, like, I got out of the hospital and started doing stand-up. We're not going to say my
trailing
recovery
with
was
the
finished.
bag.
Yeah. I had a bindle on stage.
So you had experience with acting in, I'll say, junior high, and then why stand-up?
I really don't remember. Yeah, I could not for the life of you, for life of me, tell you. I think it was that the person I was dating at the time, his brother was starting to do stand up in like Iowa City, which is where I had moved from. And I don't know, like something about that was like, oh, that seems like a good idea. I also I conceived of myself as like a funny person and a funny writer and like wrote jokes in my head without knowing it. But yeah, I guess it kind of came out of nowhere. But I didn't get like, I didn't do a ton in Milwaukee because I left maybe like 7 months later.
Okay.
And then when I moved to Austin, or back to Austin, I guess, in 2017 was when I took my first class improv and sketch at Cold Town.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just did mostly improv and sketch for several years.
But stand-up was somewhere percolating.
Yeah. And I went to some open mics, like, but I just wouldn't really get traction. I mean, I think that my biggest like roadblock even now is just like social anxiety. And and it's like when I have this other outlet of like the improv theaters or whatever, like that's like my comfort zone, and I can know that going to that venue, even if it is for stand up or like, oh, I know the lay of the land, I'm gonna know people there, and then so going and venturing into the unknown is what is so difficult. So yeah,
especially post-pandemic.
I don't think that. And honestly, social anxiety has only gotten better for me because transitioning just helps everything.
Yeah.
But even though I have much more like self-esteem, confidence, and whatnot, it just remains that I would, in most circumstances, rather be at home with a book.
Yeah. What do you, if we can flash back to what it is that, or how you approached stand-up that first, and I promise I'm not going to only ask about stand-up because I know you do
I'm
everything.
Happy to.
How did you approach that first stand-up performance that you did back in Milwaukee?
I had like at least 3 like premises with punch lines, but I definitely like kind of improvised on stage. It wasn't like I had like line word for word memorized what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I kind of went up and riffed, and that was like successful enough. So I just kept doing that. I was like I'm still learning joke structure and like what is effective versus what just like amuses me.
You're taping a special next month. You better figure it out.
No, I mean, it's just like the like tightening things, because I like to have like 12 tags and like where I just keep, if I still have ideas on this topic, I want to just
that's shutting off the improviser brain, right?
I guess
a
so.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Like, yeah. I struggle with doing the same material over and over. Like that sucks. I have to have like something new that I'm trying in any set to, unless it's like for high stakes of filming something or whatever. But I just need that little spike of adrenaline.
So once you came back to Austin, though, you pivoted fully into improv and sketch.
Yeah.
And did you find for yourself that, because I think we could probably all name people that do like all three, right?
Yeah.
That it strengthened, whatever you learned in one strengthened the others. Did you find that for yourself?
I think that the notable thing was that doing improv was just like better for my mental health in general, and bad self-criticism, those noisy thoughts.
Yeah.
That it was tough at first, right, to do improv because of that, but I kept experiencing like fleeting moments of not having those self-critical ideas just censoring you or whatever, and that felt so good. And it was this instinct of like, this is healthy for me to not be so focused on like perfection and a final product. And I had bad stage fright improvising at first, and now it's the opposite for me. Like I have very little stage fright ever improvising, and I have bad stage fright every time I do stand up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it helped me a lot with the just like emotional experience of being on stage to do improv, and even just being in a room, I had the same amount of fear in a rehearsal room or in a classroom as I did on stage in front of an audience.
Do you think you could put a label on why improv almost became freeing for you to have that comfort that you couldn't feel at that time with stand-up?
I think it just comes back to perfectionism over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And I think like a guilt or shame that I was holding a lot of, like not creating enough or not getting enough stuff done too. And so the fact that even just attending an improv class for 2 hours is like, you created all this stuff, right? And you don't have to worry about ever editing it or anything, you know? So I think that was freeing. And even though I had done like some acting before, I was so uncomfortable in my own body for so many reasons that forcing like, being on stage in that way, not being able to plan how I was going to hold myself, what character, that was helpful too.
Yeah.
So I think it was a lot of like exposure therapy, honestly, because I would feel sick before I would like walked into the theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we explore like the transitioning experience?
I talk about it a lot on stage.
Okay.
So I might as well talk about it off stage.
So one of the things that I'm like constructing in my mind, just based on the things that I've already heard, is as a child, you found yourself funny. So you were making yourself laugh. You were finding joy in the things that made you laugh, but others weren't finding it necessarily, or your sister didn't,
Right,
buy into the fact that you were
have
funny.
one example.
One example, sure. And then you're initially uncomfortable with stand-up, and then you find yourself in this environment with improv where you're feeling more comfortable, and it's just like this pattern is emerging to me of things are lining up to free yourself, basically, and to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm trapped in a body that I just got, but I want to be.
I like it. Wait. Oh, I understand. I thought you meant I'm trapped in my post-transition body that I just got. Like, if there's just different versions of entrapment that emerge, that is like, that is actually an accurate description of transitioning.
No, just like once you were like, okay, no, I'm trans, or you accept that I feel like, because I don't know exactly when that moment happened for you, but it seems like there are a lot little signposts along the way as related to being funny, the stand-up to improv, that kind of gave you the Okay.
I think
This is who I
I
am.
was using being funny as a shield a lot more before I transitioned, I think. I do think that there were people that found me funny. Like I would get, as I mentioned,
Again,
I
it was
getting
all
cast
based on
as a
what
funny thing.
Yeah.
I will say that in college, in the short play festival that I would audition for every year I was cast as the only person in any of the plays who just had to do on-stage nudity. And I'm like, am I the only person who's checking yes on this form? And also, it's comic on-stage nudity. That me taking clothes off was supposed to be funny. That is what I would get cast as. But no, I think that I also I'm having an ADHD moment of transition and what does that do for improv and
or vice
comedy?
versa. I'm actually getting at it from the other direction. Like, what did feeling comfortable with improv and like losing some of that obsession with perfectionism kind of let your mind and body realize, oh, there's this other thing that I need to.
Oh, like yeah, I think that being able to do stand up became a lot easier after transitioning because the focus on you and like your real life. I mean, especially the way that I write is very personal. Is like you're just not escaping that being seen, right? And so that's I think was very hard to do when like I didn't know who I was or I disliked who I was a lot, you know? And then you're going and like playing a character and just being silly and like you don't have to reveal anything about yourself to the audience if you don't really want to. I mean, obviously I would argue that you are no matter what in improv, right? But not in such a focused way. So yeah, I think just it's helped a lot, but also you uncover new layers of things that make you uncomfortable when you do, right? It's like now I'm just at closer to what the starting point is for cis people. Like I've always said, I just want a normal reason to kill myself.
No.
I'm not suicidal right now and I haven't been for a long time. Just as a disclaimer. I don't. Am I still answering the question, or have I finished answering the question?
I don't know if you have. I mean, I've gotten a little bit of the thing that I was getting at, and I'm also, despite doing this a long time, sometimes I'm not very good at asking the direct question. If that makes.
Okay, ask the question one more time.
Okay,
I can do this. I swear to God.
And I'll practice being more direct in my question. But I do
I think that everyone knows that this one's probably going to be your fault, but that's why I'm insisting that we dig into it.
Did performing improv and sketch where you were losing the obsession with perfectionism that stand-up seemed to give you also lend itself to you feeling like, oh, I need to, for my health, my mental health, my physical health, transition as well. The two have to be.
I see. No.
Okay.
But I think that being, like, I don't know that it's the act of, like, improvising or writing
and not
sketch.
like, okay, here's a word,
no,
that
of course.
didn't.
But I think, it does have a lot to do with it because I think because I just found community that I felt.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, you're fishing for that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, of course. It is a heartwarming answer.
Yeah.
That I just felt, and I even didn't, I don't think at the time, like pre-pandemic, there wasn't anyone I knew in the community close to me who also was transitioning at that point or whatever. Like,
oh, really?
Karina
Magyar? Did you run into her
Oh,
at
I
all?
didn't ever improvise with her.
Ah, okay.
I saw her
Okay.
on stage though. Yeah,
Sure,
for sure.
yeah.
No, and I don't mean like it didn't exist, right? I just mean like I wasn't necessarily directly seeing like,
Got it.
oh, this person is like inspired. It was literally just that, oh, I feel like I found friends and I'm more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I also, so I had top surgery in like 2018.
Okay.
And I do distinctly remember I had like a party afterwards, like after a couple weeks of healing or something. And most of the attendees were whoever was in my class at that point at Cold Town, right?
Yeah.
And that might be where your research came from, that at that point I was also a they. Regrettably, it's fine to be a they, just not for me. And so I actually at that point was kind of in a weird way more in this in between period was kind of even more uncomfortable or like unsure like internally, because I think really what happens when you kind of like take some steps to get closer to something, but you're like not at that point. I wasn't sure that I wanted to take testosterone, that I like thought of myself as a man even, right? So it was just kind of like experimenting like step by step.
Yeah.
And I think afraid to like, take bigger risks too. But that in between space is like, okay, you've now marked yourself as like different, right? You've come out in some way, but it turns out like that thing you came out as isn't correct yet. So it's just like this extra like visibility on top of like not feeling really comfortable, I guess. But the good thing was that, it just felt like it wasn't a big deal, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, made like really good friends and post pandemic. So I think I started testosterone in like 2022. And it's not like there weren't like some hiccups in, moving to he and all that, right? Within comedy. But yeah, that felt like a relief to be a like year or so into finally doing tea. And that's when I felt like that, oh, I can like get on stage in different ways now too. Yeah. Like singing was a big thing. Like I always loved musicals. I'm a completely like mediocre singer, but I love musical theater. And I just like realized, retroactively that be like having this, go play a character that's a woman or whatever. And like that, you don't even know why that feels bad or weird or something, right? And like your voice is in an entire different register that's like not what actually like that, you don't know it until it happens, right? But now where my voice is singing wise feels great. I'm like, oh, I have the confidence to like put myself out there and audition for things and be seen and heard.
Okay.
That's the end of that thought.
Okay. Do you have, as of this moment right now, do you have a favorite between stand-up, improv, and sketch or acting or the musical theater?
You can't. I just think that they're all different like art forms.
Yeah.
I think that like improv is just always, man, the way improv feels is so different, I think, from other forms of comedy, because it is like a feeling of being collaborative in like the purest way when you're doing it right and you really know the people on your team and everything. And like the joy, like one of my favorite things to do now is just rehearsing improv with like teams that I've been working, or people that I've worked with for a long time, because you're just cracking each other up. Like there's no pressure to land anything. You're just trying things, and that is it is freeing. And so that in that way, it's like, well, improv is like the best. But it also doesn't scratch certain itches either,
Mhm.
right? Of like completing some, like there's the writer brain for me that's like, I want to have an idea for something, put it on a page or, my phone notes,
Yeah.
and test it out, find out what, and then revise again. And then also put a bow on it, right? Like that's why I'm taping this hour, which is it's like a solo show that is very joke dense, I guess. I think of it as stand-up, but like if I were truly doing a stand-up hour, it would be differently constructed, right? Because this is like a story about my dad.
Okay.
Or like the story of my dad, I guess, not a specific story, and my relationship with him. But like that being done with something is also like a really good feeling that is not even that's not a possibility even with improv, right? That's not the point of that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like you want me to just go on my ADHD rants, and I'm like, I can't be just like let loose entirely.
Okay. That's fine. All right. I want to talk about another part of you that you're wearing this like, long sleeve hoodie. You love tattoos.
I do.
How did that start?
I think my first tattoo was from the series of unfortunate events, the children's books.
Great.
Oh, I've read them through several
yeah.
times as an adult.
Yeah.
But the tattoo that Count Olaf has.
Really?
The eye tattoo, the villain.
Wow.
I have an affinity for villains and villain characters.
Oh.
Yes. So I think that was my first tattoo, and definitely the rate of tattoos is like gone way up because now I have disposable income. And when you first start getting tattoos when you're younger, it's like here and there whenever you have some money or your friend is going to do it for free and stuff, right? So all of my oldest tattoos are the worst, quality wise, and yeah, I mean, I think it's like a common trans trope of being super tattooed.
Really?
Yeah. And it is like, I experience it as like, it's like a way to feel like in control kind of your body, of like the way you look,
Sure.
And yeah, I just, it's also like a cool social thing. Like I like that I like know, like I'm friends now with different tattoo artists in Austin, and like going back to the same people and stuff. It's a whole sort of subculture, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? Or is that like an impossible to choose?
I have an alligator on my forearm that is like just really well done. And the same artist did my dog portrait on my chest in like full color realism. Unfortunately, that artist lives in Denton, and I'm like, I don't want to drive 4 hours for like an 8-hour tattoo. So, but I am determined to get another one from them. I have an idea for like a sea slug. Those like really colorful, fluorescent.
Yeah.
Like a blue and yellow one. I have a space that on my forearm that I've not, I'm kind of guarding for that idea.
Do you worry about losing like space?
It's not it's becoming a problem with the patchwork style that I have, right? Like I've never consciously been like, this is the idea for my entire arm or something like that. And I'm not worried about that either because it's so easy to cover stuff up. If, you end up like, I have different places where I'm like, the placement of that sucks. But it's all fixable.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of less visible space left. like most of my back I don't have yet. Yeah, so not yet worried.
Yeah. As somebody who cannot commit to a tattoo, I'm always interested in talking to people who full on commit
Well, now
to-
that's like a thing where they call it like clean girl aesthetic. So actually, like not having a single tattoo is
Is
kind
it
of
clean
cool.
girl or is it indecisive girl?
I guess it's indecisive girl.
Yeah.
Well, what are you deciding between?
Well, every time I think, okay, I want to do this, I'm like, yeah, but maybe 5 years down the road, I'm not going to like it.
See, that's where you're just being too precious. Because if you don't like it 5 years down the road, like I said, you fix it. You just get it covered up. You have like some hate symbols you're not sure about right now. Am I still gonna believe
Am I
this?
that transparent, cat?
It's the word incel.
Yes, I'm very pro incel. Not at all.
Or you want a cat portrait?
Okay, am I that transparent? Have you looked at, my personal
I know you have
Instagram
cats.
handle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I talk
And
about them.
I mean, that's a classic. I have multiple pet portraits.
No, truly the thing that always comes out first is like my son's birth date is very, I think, tattoo friendly, that I could do like a bracelet that includes the numbers. But I'm like, well, do I want a bracelet? What if I'm out somewhere and it just kind of looks goofy? And then I realized, well, then I'm not doing it for myself, which is, I think the whole point is doing the tattoo for yourself.
Right.
And then
You're like,
my mom
these
passed
numbers
away.
next to each other look like a certain slur from a distance.
Yes.
His
birth
said
date
that
looks
over.
like a
My mom passed away.
Yeah. And there's just, she had so many, I cannot begin to tell you how many fucking tape measures she had. And I'm like, that's perfect. I want one of her yellow tape measures. And I'm like,
In what configuration? Retracted or not?
yeah, retracted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
'cause
like
if I
the
can't
tape measure
commit-
down your arm. or
Yeah,
something.
no, just like a
around your
tiny little. You're always so fat. No, just
Okay,
so
this
that's
is
gotten
what-
me closer to thinking
Yes.
I should do it. But then I am very anxious about the pain
Oh, that's
of
gonna
the
be
needles.
Fine. You'll be fine. This is what is actually holding you back, in my opinion, is deciding on you need to find an artist that makes you feel good. Like, something where you look at their page, you see something similar that they've done with a bracelet that's lettering or something like that. So you can feel confident, I have an idea of what this will look like, and kind of vet them, make sure they're good, right?
Yeah.
And then that's, I think, the toughest step, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, the design or something, well, you could give that to 5 different people and be incredibly different end results. But if you can like clearly imagine what it's going to look like, that'll make it more real. And it just depends, like that kind of fine lettering or numbers and stuff, that's not going to hurt very much.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All
You'll
right.
be fine.
All right. Maybe this will be the year I do it.
I can give you some recommendations of people if you want them.
I did actually go to the effort. I have a friend who has like a style that I'm like, that's the style I would want this tape measure in. And she gave me the names of a couple of people, and then I just got distracted and didn't do the follow through.
Yeah. That makes sense. I sometimes have like 3 balls in the air at once of like a future tattoo of like reaching out to an artist and being like, hey, I have this idea. Okay, I've confirmed they'll do it. I haven't booked a time or set a deposit. I can't pull the trigger all at once on that, just executive functioning wise. So
yeah, I get that. Okay, well, thank you for giving me the comfort that I can get through the pain.
Oh yeah,
and
that's all in your head. Unless you're afraid of needles, I think people way like over expect pain.
Yeah. I also many moons ago went with a friend to get a tattoo, and we lived in San Antonio at the time, and we came to Austin for her tattoo. Now she got it on her hip, which I think was
That's
like a very
that's
sensitive
not
area.
Gonna be easy.
Yeah, and I remember she basically passed out on the drive home. And so that
shit,
just kind of
afterwards. See, that's actually, I was going to say, this is the more realistic fear that you should have is infection.
Oh, shit.
The pain will be fine.
Oh,
but,
but infection is the... All right. Well, now I'm pulling back. Now it's never going to happen.
Don't get your first tattoo in someone's bedroom.
Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't going to
Unless you have a budget restraint, then do what I've done.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's do our prompts with Esther Perel's Where Should We Begin?
One.
Oh, no. There's a whole... No. Calm down, Kat.
Sorry.
All right. You're going to point... Which one? Choose. You can... Feel free.
What's that? Just a hi-hat tap?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the badump. So the way I keep this straight is we have A for air horn, B for badump bump, C for clapping. Okay. And
That
then
sounds like white noise.
Yeah, it did sound weird, didn't it? And then D for dying laughing.
Dying laughing.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right, now I know. I know how to work the soundboard.
Yeah.
Okay, just choose A or B.
Point to one of these two cards. Okay, and I'm going to read this one to you after you read this one to me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is very apt.
Oh.
A time I was mean to someone.
Are you saying I was mean to you?
No, that's my signature.
Okay.
Is being mean.
Oh. Time I was mean to someone. Oh, man. Yesterday, probably. My son, so I grew up in a very sarcastic household, and my son calls me out on being super sarcastic. And there are times where we'll have like an interaction, in public, a restaurant or a store or whatever. And I say something that I think is just very clear and direct. And it's like, oh my God, you were so mean to that person. And I'm like, what?
I have this experience a lot too. What did you say yesterday?
Oh, I don't think I said anything yesterday.
Why'd you say you were mean to someone yesterday?
Well, just because I think if my son thinks that the natural way that I talk to people when I'm trying to be clear and direct is mean, and I don't notice it, then it's probably happening all the time that I'm talking to somebody.
You're like, I assume I was mean yesterday.
I assume I was mean yesterday. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, this card says A time.
A time. Well, I was kind of bitchy on Friday morning. I got a ticket for parking at the Briscoe Center because we had a little tour there to prepare for this Ann Richards show.
Yeah, your guests.
Yeah.
Show.
And I got a ticket, even though somebody that was in the same meeting as me did not get a ticket. And so I was pretty pissed off when I filed my appeal. I'm like,
You're on top of the appeal.
Oh, yeah.
Immediate.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was I tried to put on my lawyerly hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran out of here one night. I was subbing for a class, and Mars was like, hey, can you come into the theater right now and do a stand-up set because my stand-up bailed?
Oh, no.
So I had paid for my parking right up to end time of class.
Yeah.
I was in here like extra 20 minutes. I get out to my car and they're standing there writing me the ticket right then. I did get out of it. He gave me a warning only.
Oh.
But yeah, you got to pay for parking now. Those tickets are expensive. This is a warning to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say the UT tickets, not as expensive.
Oh, okay.
But
you're like, so I am being a bitch about it.
So I am being a bitch about it. Yes. So I definitely was being mean when I said, I'm not paying this. Okay. All right. Kat, yours is a story people tell about me that isn't true, but I don't correct.
Oh my God. My sister saying I wasn't lying.
Yes, but you do correct you correct the story in many ways.
That I don't correct. Oh God, where the hell did Esther Perel get this from? Who's paying this close enough attention to their own, what people are saying about them? Okay, I'm going to try to think of story in a very, like the story in like a therapy sense. Like, what's the narrative that people have about you, right? I guess I don't. The thing is, how do you ever know what people are telling about you, right?
Yeah.
Were they actually? Because I have things that I assume people think about me. I do have a like hang up of thinking that everybody thinks I'm mean or like direct in a way that's hurtful or something, and I'm not even realizing it. But I don't. That's probably not true. Like in teaching improv, I feel like I'm being critical in a way that is like too intense all the time, but nobody has ever given me that feedback.
Because they're scared of you.
Well, yeah. Well, they've never put it on the anonymous form.
Oh, sure.
But, I would, from, the writing style and tone, figure it out and make sure that vengeance was sought. I think the real criticism that comes out in those forums is Kat needs to talk in a linear way. And remember what happened in an improv scene for notes.
Oh, that is funny. Having gone through classes now, and also I like clear and direct feedback, because if it's not clear and direct, what am I working with? I have no idea how to, course correct. I definitely like when an instructor is clear and direct.
Me too. I think what is impressive to me that I don't have down is being clear and direct, but purposeful or efficient isn't quite the right word. But I think that I can sometimes get like focused on the wrong thing, where it's like it is true what I'm saying and like it may be helpful, but maybe it isn't the essence of what would be the most helpful feedback about it. I feel like I get in the weeds just because of like, something right away in a scene or something will catch my eye of like, this is a good thing to talk about this topic, how to approach this in general, right? But then I might miss later on like, here was like the real takeaway that could have come from this. So that's what I like in other teachers is like really having like clear directed feedback. And just directors and like directing any show, being able to have feedback that like you can see how it speaks to a larger vision or like even philosophy of improv or something like that. Yeah.
When did you start teaching? And was improv the first thing you taught?
Yep. I taught at Cold Town. I started in like 2023 maybe.
Okay.
So it's been pretty recent. But not like, I always wanted to teach improv. I like teaching, and I left behind like education as a day job career. So I think that teaching comedy stuff is really fun.
Yeah. And you also teach sketch?
I did. I mean, right now it's like, because Cold Town is UCB.
Yeah.
Technically, I have signed a contract with UCB, but I've not gotten a class, so it remains to be seen. But I did cut. I am probably going to start teaching at Fallout in the next session. But yeah, I have taught sketch a couple of times too, and I also really like teaching sketch because I like teaching or like working with writers, I guess, in general, and working with writing. I have a MFA in creative writing. I did 2 years at University of Wyoming working on nonfiction and fiction projects, and like published one of my pieces from that, and like as its own like book, I guess.
Cool.
It's like a short book, a chap book. So I just love like workshop and like writers rooms, table reads, all that. It's just really fun,
Yeah.
so it's not just like imparting wisdom about it, which is like I have limited wisdom really on sketch. But it's just so much fun to see different people's approaches and like people who haven't tried to write a sketch before, what kind of like helps you like step back and see fundamentals of stuff too. I think that's a cool thing that teaching's anything helps you do, is just remind yourself of like what are the basics.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's good to remember the basics.
Yeah. I need to continually remind myself of that in sketch. I like to do stuff it's like I'll read it on the page and be like, I know this isn't going to work, but I won't kill this darling. The audience is not going to come along with me for this. I just have to prove to myself that my instinct that this is going to bomb is true.
What improv troupes are you in currently?
Right now, I'm like only actively in Candy Necklace, which is at Cold Town. Opens every other week for all night. Which we've had that slot for a while now, and I'm actually terrified of losing it. I really like having that slot and that team.
I think is Clifton in that?
Yep.
Candy Necklace.
Mm-hmm. It's got a bunch of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Amy is in it.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And yeah. Anyway, I want to just name every single person on the troupe and then
do it now.
They're all good. And then I like right now, Folks isn't performing or rehearsing, but that was like it's changed in some iterations, but the core group was people who are in my level 6 graduating class at Cold Town, so that has like a special place in my heart. We were doing a JTS Brown show for a little while, which was really fun, that Clifton was coaching us on. But yeah, Candy Necklace is the only like troupe that I'm actively on right now.
And what spurred you to prepare and record a special?
So I guess I'll just start with what spurred me to write it. I signed up for Frontera Fest last year.
Okay.
And didn't know what I was going to do, right? Because you have to submit a couple months ahead of time or whatever. I was like, I'm just giving myself a deadline to have something that fits in this 25-minute slot. And I wrote it's like delivered as like stand-up, right, kind of, but about my dad, and because he died in 2023. I am really hard. 3 years ago, I guess, almost now. And so it was like processing that, and our relationship, because I was very, as the title Daddy's Boy suggests, like obsessed with my dad as a kid and very aligned with him, and, a divorce and stuff. And like, but, then even though our relationship was like good, quote unquote, till the end, but he did not like acknowledge my transition at all. But he also is kind of like, I'm sure that there are a lot of trans people where this is the case with their parents, right? Because you kind of hear more of like the worst versions of stories, right?
Yeah.
Of people like actively rejecting that or whatever. So my relationship with him was a example of this, like, well, I know that he loves me unconditionally, right? But this thing is so hard for him to like process that he's in denial.
Yeah.
And then seeing that as kind of like a pattern in just processing anything. And so, drawing parallels between myself and my dad. So I did that 25-minute version. That went well, and I was like happy with what I had written so far, but I knew that it was like way edited down from the stuff I originally wrote, and like, I think this is something larger than just 20 minutes. So then I booked myself dates had Holly book me calendar dates in like September of that year. So last September, and did 3 like workshop shows of it. I like had my notes in my hands doing it, right? Like, cause I was changing things in between the weeks. Like it was just 3 consecutive like Thursdays or something. And then it was like, okay, what's the next step? Because I haven't done like a final version of this, right? I know that there's like, I could make edits and revisions to this endlessly. And that's kind of why I wanted to film it, because I think I want to retire this material. I mean, there's some little segments that are, stuff I'll keep like doing in general in my act, but like the dad stuff, I just want to like be done with it for now, so that, because I think sometimes when something is emotional, it's like you wrote it at a specific point in time and like what your thoughts were on it at that time. And then as time passes and you keep revising, you just like keep seeing it from different angles. Like you've become a different person. Yeah. So you're like, I have to like complete, like there's like a new thesis to this or something, right? So I want it to exist as like what it was and is in like the genesis of it, and not have it like keep evolving. And I also just don't think that I want to perform it as like trying to do it in Edinburgh, like on a festival circuit, or like travel with it and stuff. Like I don't want to perform it over and over. It's like it kind of feels like doing like a memorial service or something. And that's why I want to film it and have this thing that I'm probably just going to like release on YouTube, like just self produced. That's like sort of the equivalent of like publishing a book, right? Where it's like, this is done, it exists in this form. I'm not gonna continue rewriting the jokes, and it just represents like what my thoughts were at this point, and those thoughts are gonna change, and I'll look at it differently in a few years, but I can write something else about it if I want to at that point, So that's what why I wanted to film it, to tape it and release it eventually.
So are you giving yourself the freedom that once you're done and it's out, that you want to work on something new? Is there something new beyond that you're envisioning, or that you just know that that's going to happen?
I think that I'll just keep working on stand, just hitting mics, showcases, I'm just trying to like get myself to go out and do stand up more. And I think like working on this project has hindered me in some ways, because it's like I am kind of like in my own zone, like working on this specific thing that is kind of like emotionally intense to get into. There are parts of it that I've like workshopped a lot in like normal stand-up settings, but it's everything condensed to like a version of stuff where you don't need context, and like just trying like, does this punchline work and stuff. So I think not having this like big thing that's kind of in my brain will just be like a fresh restart kind of thing. Have like a blanker page in my mind. I have a bunch of material that's like not in this hour that I'm gonna like keep working on, so it's not like actually a blank page, but I just I don't want to work on a project with a capital P right away.
You want to just...
But I always get roped into stuff, I'm like, second plug. I'm working on a play right now with my friend Matt and our friend and his ex, Sarah, who's my next across the street neighbor from high school. She's been a playwright since high school. She was like going over to like Bulgaria for like a clown 6-month clown thing when she was 16.
Wow.
Like she's like always been serious. I mean, she's funny, but you know, she's like taking it seriously.
Committed.
Yeah, committed. Yeah. And so we're working on this play called Dad Hole that originally just she and Matt were working on, but they wanted to bring me in as a writer and a performer because they realized Matt needed like a buddy for the state. Like it being all the focus on him was like too much for him to handle because he's not an actor.
Okay.
But it was like, it started from his story with his dad. He was like abandoned basically when he was a kid, like kidnapped by his dad and then abandoned.
Wow.
And he like never knew his dad and stuff, you know, so it's this big dad hole. And you know, my perspective is like I have a different dad hole where like my dad was totally present and like good, but like also didn't know me in the way that I wanted him to, I guess, right? So it's this whole big thing on masculinity, but it's experimental in a lot of ways. So it's a lot of it will be improvised. We're just writing like the beats of like what needs to happen to get to the next thing, audience interaction stuff. The set is mainly this Dodge Rampage that Matt bought years and years ago, and the engine immediately died, and he's a mechanic, so he kept trying to fix it. And so we're part of the grant money that Sarah got for this play is going into buying a brand new engine to swap into the Rampage like during the show.
Whoa.
Yeah. So anyway, like this is what happens to me is I like take on like projects and then I'm like, well, I don't know why I can't commit to like going out and doing mics. And it's like because I'm
doing the projects.
I'm too tired and I'm booked. So hoping that after that, especially, I can like try to focus in a different way. I'm sure anyone who's listening to this and does comedy understands this of like, once you know everybody, that's like the benefit of like a quote unquote local scene, you know, like Austin is like, you make a bunch of connections and if you want to be productive, you sure can be.
Yeah. Yes. And if you don't want to be, you can be that too.
Well, you can be and we'll judge you.
Yes.
I'll judge you. No. Just kidding. I am like jealous of people who don't have like secret or overt like comedy dreams of like or like ambitions, you know? Because now I'm at this point where it's like I can't like pretend like I wouldn't ideally love for this to be my full-time job, you know? But there are plenty of people in the improv community, which is awesome, who are just like, I love being a lawyer and doing improv sometimes. Which feels like it would be healthy.
That's stable income is a comforting thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm not trying to make comedy my full-time job yet.
Kat, is there anything we haven't talked about that you want people to know about you?
Oh boy. That I want people
that you want people to know.
I guess just reiterating like it was so like it opened a huge door for me just as like a person to get into improv and the comedy community. I mean, like specifically the improv community, I guess, right? Like Cold Town and Fallout. I mean, even I think I was around for the new movement initially. But Cold Town was like my home theater. That, you know, if anybody's out there listening and you want to transition, you can.
And by that, he means from stand-up to improv. Or the other direction. That's what Kat meant. No. But also the other thing. The gender works too.
I mean, I honestly feel like actually people have over-transitioned.
No.
In terms of people, the visibility of transness is great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also great that people can see that and be like, maybe that's part of me, and play with that, and then be like, just kidding, I have something else unresolved, and they them didn't scratch the itch I was looking for.
Yes. And only if they themselves make that decision, not some culture war obsessed lunatic.
Right. Yeah. You don't. You also don't have to go back in a closet if you felt like it was a closet.
Yeah.
But also, if that closet was, in fact, actually just a different room in your house, and you thought it was a closet, it's fine to acknowledge that was just another room in your house that you hadn't found the back of yet.
Sure. Yeah. All right. And with that, let's wrap up with your closing question.
Okay.
One word to describe your future.
Okay, this one I didn't think of something before. One word to describe my future. And if this is not aspirational and just realistic, chaotic. That's what I'm gonna. That's probably the reasonable choice.
Okay. I actually respect that a lot because to me, that I live in chaos. It's very controlled and of my own choosing, but I don't know how to not constantly be doing something.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's like there's always that with liking a comeback. Well, something needs to go a little wrong for you to improve the future.
Yeah.
So it can't be too stable.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Great.
Of course. Well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Kat Ellison Williams. Kat, tell us where we can find you on social media, and let's do those plugs.
My Instagram is at bestcatwilliams, K-A-T, not two T's.
We didn't even talk about that.
I was trying to. I don't know how to get away from that handle at this point.
Yeah.
Because I can't do Kat Ellison Williams because I discovered after I adjusted my name legally that Kat E. Williams looks like Kate. Or Kate Listen.
Yeah.
So we've got issues to work through.
Yeah.
And then plugs. Yeah. April 19th. It's a Sunday. Mm-hmm. We got a 7:00 show. We got an 8:30 show. I'm gonna bang out 2 in one night to try to get coverage. The 7 p.m. is bound to sell better and sell out before the 8:30 probably. So, if you're willing to come at 8:30, it's not that late. It's only going to be an hour. Get that 8:30 ticket. And I'm also on Mutant Night at Fallout last Sundays of every month on the sketch team Wet Blanket. So come through and see that. And Candy Necklace is every other Sunday at Cold Town Theater. I don't even know that you can check the calendar before you, because which weekend it is always gets moved around. You can't just come the second Sunday and know it's going to be us versus the other team. Yeah. So take a gamble.
Go every Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not us, then you got to come back the next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it easy on yourself. Okay. Awesome. Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Kat got to be the comedic genius that you heard today just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham presents Kat Ellison Williams. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you.